What's going on, guys? So today's gonna be an educational video, okay? We're showing you. We ain't just telling you. It's on a whiteboard. We're showing you. When we first started our center back in 2017, I didn't really think that elopement risks were gonna be as big of a deal because we have an assisted living facility and most of our residents that live there, they weren't much of an elopement risk, and we always made sure that they weren't when they started. So it was never really a big problem. We kind of had an open door policy there. But when we first started our adult day center, we had this door right here. And it was nice because it allowed natural light in. But we had this lady, Jane, who always in the afternoon, right around 3:30. You probably know what I'm talking about, the whole sundown thing. Right around 3:30, she'd stand right here at the door and be like, "Oh, I see my son. My son's here. Bye, guys." And we're like, "Jane, your son's not here." I promise. He's gonna be here in like an hour. And so we'd always help Jane back to the tables and make sure she was engaged in whatever we were doing, because otherwise she'd just stand at the door. All right, we got a great idea. Why don't we put a frosted coating on the door? So that way she can't see if her, son or whatever's pulling up, right? So we put this nice tint, this nice little frosted kind of coating. It still allows for natural light, but now she can't necessarily see specifically who's out there, who's pulling up. Well, that lasted a week. I'm like, I thought we solved it, okay? Well, then we realized all right, I think what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to put a half wall in. Because what we didn't want to do is we didn't want to take away from the natural light to come into the building, right? So we're like, all right, we're gonna put a half wall in. So we decided to put this half wall in right here. So we basically built a wall up to right about here with a half wall, and it had a double-sided lock on it, right? So this way Jane couldn't, she couldn't reach over the door and, and into the code, right? So that worked great. That worked great. It was fantastic, okay? Until we got to a point where, we had 40, 45 people a day. And we had 40, 45 people a day. All of a sudden at 3:30, there was a mob. There was a mob right here, okay? There'd be 8 people all lined up because it was 3:30, they're sundown, and they see this is the exit. If someone walked in, literally if someone walked in the door, they're like, "Oh, hey guys, are we okay?" Because it's everyone's like, "Let me out." There's a certain type of individuals with late stages of Alzheimer's that this just kind of happens in the afternoon, right? They come in the morning, they're all fine, they're having fun, they're doing exercise, but man, 3 o'clock rolls around, you're like, "What's going on?" So anyways, so as you can tell, the half wall didn't last very long. So what we decided to do is finally add a full wall. So how many was that? 1, 2, 3, this is my 4th attempt. And finally, this has solved the problem. And it's a huge help. So we did frosted glass as well. This allows for the natural light to come through the front door and into the building. Just, we wanted to try to have as much natural light as possible. So we still did frosted glass here. Plus it kind of gives it a little bit more of a higher class, higher look. It just looks classier when you walk in, right? Instead of having just a door right there. So we have the keypad on this side, but there's no keypad on this side. So this way, it's easy for family members to bring their loved one in. But there's a keypad on this side, so that way, everyone can't escape during the day. And we also made sure there's a spring-loaded hinge on there. Make sure that when someone comes in the door's just not left open. It always shuts. It's secure, right? So you want to make sure you do that. Now, if I could do it all over again, and what we're doing in our new location in Sarasota, which this will be a kind of standard now for all of our franchises, is that now we have a transition room. And what I love about the transition room is it adds one extra layer of security between the club, where we're doing all of our activities, and the front door. And so the transition room is an area for people to put their clothes and their personal belongings, and a place for them to store all of those things before they actually enter the club. So now we have they come through the front door and they enter the transition room and they leave their personal belongings, which that has a key-coded lock on, and then they enter the club, which has another key-coded lock on. And so now we have these two kind of safety checks to ensure that no matter what stage of dementia or Alzheimer's someone has, or what stage of the process that someone might be in when it comes to having some memory care issues, we can service those needs and ensure that their loved ones are safe during the day, and that we know that for sure because we have an extra layer of security. So this is a great solution for a size of space like this one, which is a smaller location. Our 8,000 square foot one, we added the transition room because we have more space and we could allow for that additional security. But that is something I learned early on is, one, make sure you have some form of key lock door between the entrance and where all the fun happens. Make sure it's a full door and a full wall if you can make it happen that way. And make sure that it's got frosted glass. So that way it still allows the natural light in, still allows for like a more higher end appearance, but they can't see specifically who's on the other side. And this will, help kind of, rid people of the curiosity as to what's going on over there. Is that my husband? Is that my son? So if you have other windows in the building too, I would highly, highly recommend, if you have other windows or other doors that are exterior facing that allow natural light in, just put frosted tint on those windows. And that's gonna solve a lot of problems. If you haven't already, make sure you go to adcpro.com, check out all of our YouTube content, join our monthly webinars, go and join our private Facebook group. And if you're interested in opening your own ActiveAge, now included with a transition room, go to activeagecare.com/franchise. We'll see you on the next one. Peace. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to learn how to open your own adult daycare center, go to adcpro.com. If you'd like the latest business tips, click here, and make sure you subscribe to our channel, click here. We'll see you guys next time.